Gina Hetherington has devoted her life to dog rescue. 7 years ago, Gina and her husband Tom Malloy moved to Mullinahone in County Tipperary to continue their work with the charity Paws. They had been based in County Kildare, and since their arrival in Tipperary, some startling statistics have emerged.
There's a huge stray dog population in South Tipperary. On the Department of Environment website, it was always the third highest destruction rate in Ireland was the dog pound in South Tipperary. And we feel that if you look at since we moved here, the destruction figures in that particular pound have reduced by 30%, whereas the ones in Kildare pound have gone up 30%. So we must be doing something right.
The recession has hit Paws hard. It's make or break time for them.
Paws is in big trouble at the moment. The recession has hit us so badly with donations that we're basically going for day to day. In order to pay the staff wages recently, I had to go around and empty all the collection boxes that we have out in shops. The bank stopped our overdraft, our van broke down in Germany and we had to get it fixed, which cost us a fortune. The dogs keep coming because people have nowhere else to go with them, but the people that are coming are not giving donations, and as a result we're struggling. We have the balls up in the air and sooner or later they're going to drop. And the problem is, what do we do then? Because if we pack this up tomorrow, where will these people go? Where will these dogs go? We're dealing with live animals here, and if you give up your job tomorrow, you can go and sit on a beach and say, what'll I do now for the rest of my life? Whereas if I give this up tomorrow, there's 70 odd dogs down there, and where are they going to go?
In spite of their difficulties, Paws continues to tackle the very serious problem of dumped and unwanted greyhounds. Unlike other countries, there's no legislation to put the onus on Irish owners or syndicates to take responsibility for greyhounds once they've retired. Paws, along with many other excellent sanctuaries around the country, source and find homes for them in Europe.
We depend a lot for our sight hounds, the lurchers and the greyhounds. We depend on Czechoslovakia, Sweden and Italy to adopt the dogs, because for some reason Irish people don't see them as pets. They just see them as these crazy dogs that chase around after rabbits and cats and little dogs, and they don't see them as the 50-mile-an-hour couch potatoes that they actually are.
Nice day. Veterinary surgeon Sarah Mitchell from the South View practice deals on a daily basis with Paws.
Every dog that comes in here gets first-class care. Whether the dog has been here for a day, whether it's been here for 12 months, every dog gets priority treatment. They get whatever we recommend is done, and above and beyond that, Gina would never refuse to treat an animal or never refuse to do full tests, full surgery. If we ring her up and say, Gina, this is very expensive today, she'll say, I'll find it somewhere, I'll get the money somewhere. Everything is okay?
It's an expensive business, but so is greyhound racing. And if the retirees or failed animals fall into the wrong hands, all sorts of problems arise. Crossbreeding with greyhounds produces lurchers.
This is Manuka. It's really extraordinary that she wasn't put down when we found her. She's a fabulous dog now. She was booked to go to Sweden, but I wouldn't let her go. I was in the vets in Clonmel one day, around 2 years ago, and a couple pulled up with this little ball of mange and just neglect in the car. They found her on the ring road in Clonmel. I know that if I wasn't there that day, she would have been put down. But you saw the state from the stills of her photographs, but she's a fabulous dog now.
Anna Kartsten from Sweden is a member of a foundation that rehomes in her country.
The foundation I work with is called Never Neverland. And we come over here to Ireland, working with Paws and also working with organisations up in Sligo. We've been doing that for a couple of years now, and I'd say we have about 500-600 dogs in Sweden from Ireland at the moment. The major difference now between Ireland and Sweden is that we have very strict laws of microchipping. So you would never have such thing as a stray in Sweden or a homeless dog. This is Murphy, and he's going to Sweden now. He's going next week. He will be going with 5 other, 2 greyhounds and 3 other lurchers. He's a lurcher himself, and he's going to a lovely home next week.
Murphy is one of the lucky ones. Paws and other animal sanctuaries are doing excellent work in getting the unwanted sight hounds new homes abroad. But what about the people who create this problem?
The Irish Greyhound Board have come an awful long way in the last 5 years with regard to welfare, and while we're very grateful to them for the donation that they give to us towards the centre, this is the type of thing that I would be referring to. This dog cost €30,000 to buy. He won 10,000 for his owner, and then the owner walked in here about 2 months ago and handed this dog to us with a donation of €20. This is one of the reasons why we're getting into the situation that we're in. He's an absolutely beautiful animal, and he has a home in Prague, so he will get his couch and he'll get his forever home. But it really isn't our responsibility to take care of an animal like this without getting a proper donation with it.
Back here in Kildare, and we're joined by Barry Coleman, who's welfare manager with the Irish Greyhound Board. Barry, it looks as if the problem of unwanted greyhounds is just as bad as ever, just as acute as ever.
Well, we're doing our best as much as we can really in relation to it. I suppose the history of it is that the Irish Greyhound Board in the early 90s set up the Retired Greyhound Trust, which was established to provide a mechanism whereby owners could afford the opportunity to find homes for their greyhounds once they're retired. The Retired Greyhound Trust is funded by a 3% deduction from winners' prize money. This amount is also matched by the contribution from the Irish Greyhound Board.
So overall, how much money is the Greyhound Board putting into finding homes for these unwanted greyhounds?
Well, the Retired Greyhound Trust would have a fund of approximately €500,000, and this funding is dispersed by taking care of the greyhounds in their two rehoming centres, which are in Croom and Knocklong in County Limerick.
When you consider, Barry, the story that we saw from Paws there, where a greyhound owner paid €30,000 for the dog, won €10,000 during the course of his racing career, and then felt it was okay to just say bye-bye at the end of that. Do you think the Greyhound Board has a role to play in formulating a policy where that just wouldn't be allowed?
Very understandable, and we're in the final stages at the moment of forming a welfare committee, which would be made up of industry stakeholders, from owners, trainers, to people involved in rehoming, people from the Irish Greyhound Board and the Irish Coursing Club. And maybe it is definitely something that we should put on the agenda and discuss it further, and maybe we will be able to maybe track through the life cycle of a greyhound in from racing stage to retirement.